A military burial is a heavy, quiet procedure, traditionally punctuated by 24 iconic notes. Those notes are meant to provide a final, solemn goodbye for the family. But the Department of Defense is currently navigating a severe infrastructure gap. Because the number of active duty military musicians has steadily dropped over the years, the honor guards sent to these funerals frequently arrive without a live bugle. To cover the shortage, short-staffed honor guards rely on a stark workaround. They hide an electronic insert inside the bell of a standard-issue brass bugle. Someone presses a button and a digital recording plays out over the gravesite. That systemic failure extends far past the funeral ceremony. For the grieving families left behind, official government survivor benefits are notoriously difficult to access. Support is often restricted by rigid bureaucratic boundaries, heavily dependent on a service member's exact duty status or their specific cause of death. To catch families falling through these exact gaps, the civilian sector built an alternative. People in the military community know it simply as TAPS, yet that single term frequently causes confusion because it actually points to two entirely distinct lifelines working in parallel. To see how America truly honors its fallen, we have to step outside official government channels and untangle the two separate volunteer networks sharing this single name. First, look at the scale of this demand. Every one of these headstones represents a family requiring an immediate, dignified farewell on a very finite, urgent timeline. The immediate physical shortage of military musicians is handled by an organization called TAPS for Veterans. This is a sprawling, nationwide logistics network made up entirely of civilian volunteers, stepping in exactly where the military's capabilities end. They maintain a massive roster of trumpet and cornet players, dispatching them to grave sites across the country. They make sure that a veteran receives an authentic, live tribute at absolutely zero cost to the family. Their logistics reach peak capacity during their annual national mobilization, an initiative known as TAPS Across America. Thousands of volunteer musicians coordinate to play simultaneously, guaranteeing no veteran is forgotten. This map illustrates how the tribute unfolds as a cascading wave across the country. At exactly 3 p.m. local time on Memorial Day, the musicians play together as the clock strikes the hour in each individual time zone. This network rescues the physical dignity of the final farewell. They ensure a lifetime of service ends with human breath, rather than an automated procedure. Once that final note fades, the families left behind enter an entirely different, infinite timeline of grief. That lifelong emotional aftermath is the sole focus of the second pillar, the Tragedy Assistance Program for Survivors. Operating under the exact same TAPS acronym, this is a separate 24/7 national nonprofit. Their daily operations involve providing round-the-clock grief counseling, matching survivors with peer mentors, and offering intensive casework assistance to help people navigate the overwhelming logistics of a sudden loss. This flowchart compares the restrictive filtering of official survivor benefits against the open intake net of TAPS. Where government programs frequently operate on exclusionary rules, TAPS functions on total inclusivity. They open their doors to all military survivors. Grief does not respect bureaucratic boundaries. If a family is navigating the complex fallout of a service-related illness or suicide, TAPS bypasses the usual red tape to ensure they receive identical support to any other survivor. While the volunteer Buglers fix the physical reality of the graveside burial, this nonprofit steps in to patch the lifelong administrative and emotional reality of the aftermath. Commercial real estate and business investors usually measure legacy in physical assets like brick-and-mortar portfolios. For the military community, legacy looks much more like this dented brass bugle. It is measured in 24 haunting notes and lifelong commitments to grieving families. We typically associate community infrastructure with the built environment. In this space, infrastructure consists of the invisible safety nets civilians construct to catch families when the unexpected hits. Both of these organizations operate on a principle you could call operational empathy. It is the gold standard they bring to their work every single day. Operational empathy means creating structures that actively preserve human dignity. It means recognizing when standard administrative systems fail and building dedicated networks to look out for people when they are at their most vulnerable. You can witness this empathy in action for yourself. Listen for those live, volunteer buglers in your own community on Memorial Day at 3 p.m. local time. If you want to help sustain either of these vital lifelines, you can find direct links to their resources right here on screen. The ultimate safety net for America's fallen operates entirely independent of government funding. It runs on the dedication of civilian networks who understand exactly what it takes to keep a promise.